Yes guys, welcome back to the channel, your go-to place for tips, advice, interviews and tutorials. So great to have you back. Even my cough is getting a little bit better. I've still got it, apparently it's a 100-day cough, so it might last a little longer, but I'm feeling so much better than I did last week. So thank you for all of the kind words. Today, we're gonna be speaking about something really important, which is 5 things to consider if you're going to be wearing a hair system at work, and we're going to be looking at that next. But first, a message from today's sponsor.
Today's sponsor, guys, is Livivid. You can find them at livividhair.com. You can get a 15% discount code on any stock hair system or accessories that I've negotiated with them just for you guys. It's Adam15. All the information is in the description box below this video. If you want high quality hair systems with good shipping times and top customer service, consider Livivid.
So an office space is a pretty tricky one, isn't it, when it comes to hair systems, because you don't have unlimited private time to yourself where you can do rebonds or where you can basically sort lifts at the front of your hair system. So you have to be a little bit savvy and a little bit smarter with your time. Now, the first thing to think about is you're going to have to be a bit more considered when it comes to maintenance. It would be really helpful to be organized around this and basically work out either an evening or maybe a day on a weekend where you've got a couple of hours to yourself where you can do your maintenance uninterrupted and knowing that it's not going to impede your work or your output. So a couple of hours on a Saturday or maybe one evening during a weekday. Just make sure that you've got a couple of hours to yourself where you can basically get your hair system off, get your scalp cleaned, get it rebonded and get it back on for the next day. Now, obviously this doesn't work for everyone, especially for people who work really long hours or work quite a physically demanding job. So a second thing to consider might be worth looking at employing daily use with your hair system. Now, this can work with any hair system. That's the great news about this. You just need to change the kind of adhesive that you're using. So there's a couple of tapes out there which I would personally recommend to you. I'm going to drop them in the description box below. Now, one is called 1522 tape and it's by Walkers and it's specifically designed for daily wear. Now, what do I mean by specifically designed for daily wear? What I mean is you attach the tape around the base of the system and you literally just take it off at night and then you put it back on the next morning. You don't actually take the tape off every night. That would take so much time. You just need to take it off at night time, sleep with a do-rag or sleep bald, or sleep with a beanie on your head if you're a little bit insecure about how you look, even at night, and then you just put it on the next day. These tapes generally stick on for between 5 to 7 days. Yes, the bond is a lot looser, but that means it's a lot easier to come off at night. And when you do have to do a full rebond, which is probably about once a week, it's much easier to take this type of tape off the base and reapply a new bit of tape. Another tape which is really good for this, it has a slightly stronger bond and it's one that I've used in the past. It's called Sensi-Tac. It's also from Walker Tape and it's red. So if you see a red Walker tape, it's probably Sensi-Tac. It's a really good tape. As I said, I've used it myself before. I might actually start using it again because I'm looking to actually do my own trial of daily wear. I did it a couple of years ago and it's a real success. It's so easy, especially if you're someone who works in an office space and you're doing long hours and you don't have much time for cleaning and rebond. This is a really good and effective solution for you. Another second option to consider is, of course, a clip-on hair system. Now, you may not have heard of that, and I'm going to be doing a video on clip-on hair systems very soon. So please make sure you subscribe to my content and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified as to when I make that. If you could give this video a thumbs up as well, it will really help the channel grow, and it means I can make better content more frequently. So clip-on hair systems are literally systems, but they have clips attached on the underside of the base and you literally just clip those to your natural hair on the side. The only drawback is you have to take it off at night because it can get really quite uncomfortable. Obviously, you don't want to be pressing against a clip on your head at night. It's just it would be quite uncomfortable, it would be quite painful, so I wouldn't recommend that. And you could just use at the front, you could use 1522 daily tape or even Sensi-Tac if you wanted to. It's a really cool, easy way to maintain your system when you're working in an office environment. Now, the third thing you need to consider when wearing your hair system at work or in an office environment is be mindful of how much you're exposing your hairline. Obviously, something like this is way easier to fix if you get a lift when you're at home. It's way harder when you're in an office space with other people and you're being paid to do a job. And I'd say especially if you work a physically demanding or practical job where you're perspiring most days, I really wouldn't recommend exposing your hairline at all. I'd just say have it down, unless you have really, really high confidence in the bond that you're using. I know a lot of guys who go to gyms and they swear by Ultra Hold. I'm not a fan of it. I'm allergic to one of the ingredients, and I do question some of the ingredients that it does have. Some of them are flammable, which is a bit dodgy. But if that works for you and it allows you to expose your hairline, even in a physically demanding job, then why not? Go for it. But if not, and you don't feel 100% confident in your bond, like me today, wear your hair down. It makes so much sense. And you're not going to be anxious that you might have a lift, other people might have spotted it and you haven't, or you get a lift and you don't know what to do. Guys, just keep the hair down. It's the best possible solution. Now, the fourth thing to consider is basically having a stash of accessories, a spare stash of accessories that you can have with you in the workplace. So it's pretty likely that you're going to have a desk with drawers. I'd say keep in that drawer some glue, maybe some scalp protector as well, something like that, and maybe if needs be some C22. No one's going to go into your drawer and go snooping around. Most drawers have locks on them as well, so if you're really nervous, just lock it, get a key and lock it so no one can access that. But it's really handy if you have an emergency. Something like glue or scalp protector can really, really help when you find yourself in a tricky situation. And the fifth thing to consider, and this is a really underrated one, it took me a while to actually think this one up, but when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. If you're working in an office space, you want comfort on a system. You want the system to feel comfortable. You don't want it to feel heavy. You don't want to feel like you're itching it all the time. So what I'd really recommend is going for either an ultra thin skin or going for a thin lace base. So either a Swiss lace or a French, or an ultra thin skin like an Eros or a Mirage that LeVivid offer. Of course, you can get that 15% discount that was mentioned in the ad at the top of this video, so make sure you avail of that. But these are so comfy, you don't notice them at all. So you can focus on giving your job 100%. So guys, how do you cope with wearing a hair system in the workplace? Is the reason you haven't got a hair system yet because you're worried about how you're going to deal with maintenance and all the other things in the workplace? Let me know in the comments box below. I'd love to hear your experience. Let's get a conversation started. My aim is to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of March. I'm determined to get to that figure. So please, if you are new around here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.